Hey, welcome back to the music store. Today we're going to share it with you. What we have here is a brand new Yamaha Disklavier. This is a 5-foot grand piano. There are a couple extra steps to this piano. We have to put the monitors together and mount those inside. And then all the other steps are the same from grand piano to grand piano. So if you have a grand piano that you need moved, you can hit us up. Or if you like what you see here and you want to purchase one, totally hit us in the comments, message us on Facebook, or call us at the store, 208-734-9010. I'm your host, Mark Johnson. My helper today is Braden, and you've seen him on Facebook. He does a lot of our guitar repairs. And then the man behind the camera, the man who makes it all work, is Andreas Burton. Go ahead and give us a selfie, Andreas.
Hello.
Don't break my camel. Don't break my phone. Okay, so we're just going to start doing this. We're going to talk you through it. And first things first, go ahead and cut them off. Nope. So it's kind of a cool engineered box. They actually engineer it so this whole side comes off. We do have a customer that wants this box. The work here is this one. Kind of grab the impact. It's right here. So these are just in a little anchors that are in. I'm gonna come over here. You can actually see how it works. So there's an anchor in the box, and then these just screw in and they sandwich this side in between. So sometimes when they do the pneumatic screws at the factory and for Yamaha, they get a little tight, and so we just have to break them loose with the impact.
So long as they make it here safe from where it came from, we're fine.
Yeah, we'll make it work. So these ones actually go in the leg holes, or close to the leg. Oh, Yamaha.
Spinning the plate.
This one's pulled out too. So what there is a little bracket in there that mounts to the piano, and then these mount to the bracket. So sometimes we have to cut it out of the box like this.
You're gonna catch me in 4K cut my finger open. I won't be suitable for Facebook anymore.
Don't cut your finger open. That way I don't have to pay for workers' comp.
I need a video proof of you saying that.
That's right. Problem is my insurance guy is probably going to watch this and say, no, that's not how it works.
Nope.
So there's this one that holds it up. So we got these brackets that have actually pulled out at the bottom of the piano. They're supposed to be set in like this. This one is sitting right here, and you can see a lot of times this is freight company not being careful enough. So that one's been, they'll get another box and they'll shove it, and it'll actually bend this and strip it out of the bottom.
That's what it's supposed to look like. And that's why mine didn't open, is because it was sitting there spinning.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's happening? Hey, what's going on, man?
Piano.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
You bring these in?
all good.
So this is a part you have to be careful for. Actually, all 3 legs of the piano are inside this box, and the pedal system and all of the important metal bits are in here.
I'll get down here. Have a good one.
So that's all of the legs.
You got the shinger?
Yep.
So that's the bracket mounted that other plate to the bottom side. That's the way it's supposed to be. There's 2 screws holding it in. You have to take them out so that you can put the leg on.
This is always interesting to see if they're a Christmas present. Just open it up. Ta-da! Wow.
Wow.
All of your legs
Wow.
nicely packaged so they don't get hurt.
That's the piano bench.
Just like that. This is our pedal system. This pedal system in particular is a little extra beefy because this has the moving pedals for the silent Disklavier system. So this whole box might look a little unfamiliar. It makes it about 50 pounds heavier.
And what there is there's actually 3 pneumatic pistons in there that when you play, if you record, it actually records your foot motion, and when it's playing back or reproducing, it reproduces your same foot motion. So if you do a half pedal or a full pedal or an incremental as you play, this piano reproduces that. So that's where those solenoids are pretty cool in what they do.
And that's just cameraman always brings an extra knife.
So these are the monitors, and they're going to mount right in here on these brackets. And that's what gives you silent playing, so you can actually play and have a digital sample play instead of just the piano, or you can play with headphones and it's silent so you're not disturbing everybody else.
This is something they do as well to keep these pedal systems out of the way when it's shipping, is the bracket actually comes in with one screw in at an angle, so you have to come in. And these are your pedal supports. So you can see how it came in like this one. There's the other screw right there. Oh, do you hear that? It's tuned and everything. What is that, an A sharp? I wouldn't be surprised with Yamaha if that was too. They'll actually be in the way in a second, so I'll put them forward. And while I'm down here, this is an important step that you shouldn't forget. These 2 screws are actually holding the piano tipping hinge onto the bottom plate here. So by removing these, it will make it so in the future, in a minute or 2, we can actually slide the piano off.
So Braden's going to get started putting the brackets on the monitors, and while he gets that opened up, I'm going to show you how these legs go on. And something that is kind of unique to Yamaha Disklavier is the way they've done their legs. When it comes from the factory with the player system in it, there's no retrofitting. So like QRS pianos, Pianomation pianos, you end up getting, when you add the player system into it, they end up cutting a big square out of your leg. And now why they do that is for when you mount your piano leg up here, if it wasn't already smaller, you would have to cut out for this solenoid bank. What is in here is there's 88 solenoids, and they actually are mounted into the piano, and then they push up on the bottom of the key. So when you're playing acoustically, there's no loss of motion, there's no interference with the player, but when you have the piano play or record, it is actually pushing up from the bottom. So it's not actually attached to the key. So we need to make sure we get these ones in the right position. And as you can see, if you want to come over here, audience, you have two short ones and then a long one. And short meaning distance from A to B, and then this one you can actually see it's wider here, and then it's definitely wider here. Now this is going to be the back leg, because these ones have been shortened at the factory when it's being created to make room for that battery, for that solenoid bank. We have longer 19mm bolts. I always like to do the top one first because then it holds it in there for me. You have two guiding dowels. If I can get it to line up. Now there's probably a spec sheet that says you should tighten these up to X amount of whatever foot-pounds of torque. What we do is we use the M12 Milwaukee. Got it already? In an impact, and I give it 3 Ugga-Duggas, and it works great.
1 3/4 of an Ugga-Dugga.
Oh, 1 3/4. I was wrong.
Well, Ugga and 3/4 of a Dugga.
Some ducks. Now, your first instinct is to slap all these legs on and call it done, but you have to hinge the piano over. If we were the Incredible Hulk and we were super strong, or we had some mechanical advantage, we would do that, but we don't. So what we do is we use leverage. So you put 2 legs on, and then once we tip it over, we put the 3rd leg on, and you'll be able to see that in a minute. So this one we just take snug again, then I hit it with the impact, and we'll be ready to go. There it is. Go on over to Braden, see what he's doing.
So I just had to look and find, because what's actually happening here for our speakers, these are just top-of-the-line powered monitor speakers you can see in like a recording studio or your at-home desk setup if you're really cool. And these, they're not specially made for the Disklavier. They're just a really nice Yamaha product that they're using in conjunction because it works really well. So it is designed right now just to kind of sit on your desk, or you can get a speaker tower and it kind of goes up there. So what we have to do is put an adapter plate on it. And this is what makes it mechanically compatible with the piano. And of course everything power supply wise and signal related is already built into the piano. So all we have to do is get it to safely stay there. And you'll forgive me if I'm a little rusty, because it's been more than a week since I've worked on it.
More than a week?
More than a week.
Cannot believe it.
And if you want to get a sneak peek as far as how these work, They are just over here. They give you these brackets, and then you end up with double set screws, and this will just attach to the bottom of your speaker, and it still gives you tilting ability. It's already ready to go. Already ready. So you want the angled portion to be facing the front of the speaker. Yep. Well, just like this. This action is what it is. And this tucks into the top of the piano.
Work this back.
Correct.
Back of the speaker.
So the wing nuts are for the piano. And they do give the option on these brackets to mount it straight down, but it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of adjustableness.
You can throw the sound in a different direction. If you have a hardwood floor, you might want to shoot it, instead of going straight down, you might want to shoot it back towards the back of the room or back of the piano. So it just makes it a little bit more convenient. So those brackets go on just like that. There's another hook that goes in here in the back of the piano, in the bottom of the piano, and then these wing nut screws go in right there, and you take those hand tight once you get it hung. Good catch, Braden.
Because I just figured out it did that. We'll also turn them on. And then we will need power cords. The reason I'm doing this right now is because this part's going to be facing away from us, so easier to make sure it's done. Yamaha has already graciously provided us with the inputs. So this is going to be a single RCA connection into what this monitor calls line 1. And while I'm here, I'm going to turn that to the middle so that we don't have to troubleshoot why it doesn't have sound later. Alright, so I got those back hooks set. And these wing nuts are just going to basically hold it out here and in place and square it up. And don't worry about cable management, that'll be next. I'm just worried about these big pieces right now. You can see as I get closer to tight, it's actually going to kind of cinch it down, just like so.
There's two little dimples in the bracket underneath there that those thumb screws actually go into.
Thank you. Okay. Once again, don't forget your line. Here. The volume, which he's already done for me. Thank you, Mark. And it's a little bit easier to see those dimples, like he said. So I have those rear brackets. I support it with my hand and line up with those right there. Okay, I'm going to take some of this extra line material and I'm just making it nice and neat and pretty underneath the hood. One thing that I like about Yamaha's, having moved a couple other pianos with player systems, is Yamaha's, or the Disklavier system in particular, is much prettier, less packed than some of the other systems you see. because they make them like this in the factory. So this piano is purpose built. Same thing over here. So first I'm going to pretty up the signal wire.
It's important to explain what hacked means. So what we've seen with other retrofits is that you end up with speakers that have been mounted, and then because they don't have a power system or a power management system like Yamaha has done, you end up with like a 6-way circuit, or like a surge protector or a plug adapter that has 6 different inputs and a little breaker mounted in here or zip tied around with all of the cables plugged into it to make it work. Where Yamaha has everything going into this system that allows for the power of the speakers, the power of the computer system, and the power of the solenoid bank for your piano, all coming off of one plug. That's what Braden means by hackery.
Yes. Sometimes you go to move them and you're not expecting it, and you find wall plugs sitting here and there's a hole cut out of that, and it's kind of like, ooh, it's scary. This is much more pleasant to work with and pleasanter to look at. Not that you're going to be crawling under your piano that often, but it is a good spot for a nap.
I've taken naps under piano. Randy's taken naps under pianos.
Sure. There is a problem in life that zip ties and duct tape can't fix, right? Wrong.
Accurate. You're gonna be triggered.
Light?
Like,
Oh no. I'll try not to use those.
I'm not responsible for your trigger.
I think I'm gonna use this one. Have to use this one. A white one. I might just use this here. And these are just the power cables, so they actually go down to the central power unit right here. These IEC connectors, which are kind of like an appliance cable or like an amplifier cable for guitars. Scissors are safer than using a knife. And then, of course, Yamaha provides a neat way to tuck that back and kind of out of the way. Now's a good time to double check and just make sure everything's looking all right down here, because next time you see it, you'll be laying on your back.
That's an important step, is moving those supports, because our next move is actually to tip this piano. So if these are poking straight out, when it gets tipped over, they get jammed up and you tear screws or you bend posts, and we don't want to do that. Legs ready, screws your legs over here. Okay, we put a pad down here just to protect that corner of that piano. That's what this brace is supposed to do, but we've learned by sad experience that it doesn't always help, so we pad it.
That's also a sponsored Welsh Music hoodie. Not available for purchase, but
Yeah.
enough interest and start selling merch.
That's right.
The post is in the ground.
Thank you, Andres. So with that, I'm going to something tied up.
Here, let's grab one of these plastic hoodies. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
So what we're concerned about is if we lift it up right now, we don't want this pretending to be a piano leg.
A lot of times on the new pianos, those are stiff and they stay up. On the older pianos, when we move them, we'll notice that. We'll use a rubber band out of our moving trailer to hold that up.
They also tend to stick in the upright position, and this one has a speaker in that point right now. But we will deal with this in order to have a speaker right there because it sounds really good. The reason we have to remove that promptly is because that's where the leg goes. Can you reach it?
I'm limited on my ability to help you at this point.
I mean, you don't have 8-foot arms. I always thought you did.
Usually, I'm handing those to
Yeah,
you.
Andres, the cameraman, is too busy being a cameraman. It's closer to 2, you gotta be careful. There you go.
Okay, so now the piano is standing on its own. It's like a happy toddler. It's no longer a baby. And so we have to take the action out and untie the action. So that is our next step. We're going to continue to unbutton it a little bit. That one holds the music desk down. Okay, so there was the finger. This one holds your file board down. And then if you look at that, if that happened and I didn't know what was going on, I would start panicking. I'm like, oh no, it's broken.
Oh no! Our table! It's broken!
It's all damaged. It's not horrible. What has happened is the keys have slid out of off of their posts because the last time this was opened up was in Indonesia when it was made. So it's been sitting on its side, rocking back and forth on the ocean, in the truck, coming here. And so all these have to do is lift up a little bit and they slide right back in on their track. You see that? Now they're not going to go down. Actually, it'll be easier. You want to grab the yellow drill. So we have to take off these cheek blocks right here. And then we have to take off this key slip. So that's the next cheek block, and then this key slip is just pressure set in there. There's a couple of posts that you just gotta wiggle them. There it goes. So those 3 brass posts go into these 3 holes, and that's what keeps your action from sliding around in and out. Slide this out, and sometimes we need to give ourselves some room. These are the cables for the pianos. We just need to buy ourselves a little bit of space so I can get in there and get an oak tie down. Now what this has done is, from leaving Indonesia, this has kept all these hammers down, which in turn has made it so these don't move. And now that they're moved, we can go in here and it's a lot easier to reset the keys into their correct position. Now they're not moving because we're actually up against the bottom of the piano. So here in a second, it'll actually be playing once I get these all moved over. Slide it back into position. Manage our cables back to where they were. We don't need them loose anymore. And then there's an actual spring that as you push it in, it catches the spring and it pushes it back in the correct position. Now our action works. So that pushes in, then these cheek blocks, we'll let them see. You have this cool little groove right here. And that little groove pushes in on this little groove right here. And it actually holds that little slip where it belongs. So we're gonna line up this dowel with the hole there. You wanna back that screw off, just there you go. And then it'll slide in. Okay. This has a little nipple that goes into that channel there.
Easier to see right here. So there's channel and the guide. Helps to have two people so you can watch your own side.
And then it has slow fall, so no more whacked fingers. I remember when I was growing up, they didn't have that, so it would slam, and then Grandma would be like, "Don't slam my piano." Now we don't have to worry about that because Yamaha engineers love little kids. So, and now we have an 80-pound pedal system to put on. That's easier to do with two people because of its weight. A lot of times with the regular pedals, you can do it by yourself. Well, we'll make room for you guys so you can see too.
What's the best way to untie a knot?
With a knife.
That's not a knife.
They got littler fingers than me.
But they make great pianos.
That's because they're like elves. Okay, so these, what we have is we have two dowels, and then we have wing nut screws. So you've got to lift this deal up and line them up, and then get your screws started. But you can't take it tight because you got to you got to pull the pedals forward to be able to get that support in. You see that? We'll undo it. So if we took it tight, go ahead and it would lock in there and you wouldn't be able to use it.
No good.
So we take it loose and we move it forward. So those supports go right into the guide. And then as we tighten it up, it actually triangulates and adds a lot of pressure. So as you're playing here and pushing against the pedals, they're actually extremely tight. If you have a grand piano with weak pedals or moving pedals, it's because these are typically dowels and they have either worn into the piano, or they were too short, or what we've seen is that they have a felt on them, felt or leather, and that felt or leather has been packed down.
And an important step you can't miss on this pedal system so it can do all of the awesome stuff it does is to connect it to the brain. That is not a normal thing to have to do. That's part of what makes this piano so special. And of course, cable management.
So we got a piano done?
I think so.
Okay, let's slide it into position. So we went from having no piano to having a piano that is almost showroom ready. What we're going to do is we're going to give it a lot of shining up, get all of this manufacturing dust off of it, and we will be having it tuned by our technician. I'll be ready to go. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit the like button, comment on our Facebook page. If you want us to move your piano, feel free to give us a call. If you have some problems with your piano, we can line you up with a technician in the area. We have a whole bunch of stuff coming, which is going to be awesome. We're going to do some unboxings with you, show you the cool stuff that they presented at NAMM that we ordered,